Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ultimate BFDI voting. I'm your host, Zap. Just over a week ago you guys voted on the first semi-final to determine which 12 made the finals and which 4 failed. It's time to reveal those results. On the screen next to me you'll see the 16 semi-finalists from semi-final 1. In a second I will be revealing which 12 made the finals in random order. I will not be revealing who got how many votes or what positions they finished in except from the non-qualifiers. We got 2,582 votes from 130 voters. Thanks a lot to everybody who voted because obviously this couldn't be possible without you. With that said, let's get straight into it. The first contestant through to the finals is Pen. That's 1 safe spot gone and 11 more remain. The second contestant qualifying is Puffball. That's 2 contestants whose names begin with P. Safe. Will the trend continue for a third time? Well, the third safe is Pencil. We are now 1/4 of the way through the qualifier reveals. The next contestant safe is Golf Ball. That's the first row of qualifiers complete. Who will kick off the second? Well, the next qualifier is Blocky. The tension is starting to build for our remaining 11, but the next qualifier won't have to feel that, and that character is Barry. We are now halfway through the qualifier reveals. The 7th contestant moving on to the final is Eraser. Only 5 safe spots remain now, and the next contestant qualifying for the final is Ruby. We are now at our final 8 and only half of these will qualify to the final. The 9th contestant qualified for the final is Gelatin. We are down to the last quarter of the qualifying spots. Out of these 7, only 3 can make it. The next contestant qualifying is Pin. We are down to our last 2 qualifying spots. The penultimate qualifier is Teardrop. We are now down to just 1 spot in the final. Flower, Snowball, David, Dora and Woody have yet to learn of their fate, and only one of them will make it. The final contestant qualifying for the final is Dora. And with that we have our 12 finalists. These will appear in the grand finals to determine which character is the most popular. As for the rest, it's time to reveal how well they did in this semi-final. Flower never really stood a chance of qualifying. She was at the bottom the majority of the voting, having a couple of 20 points but then low points from all her other voters. She was in last by a fair margin. Snowball, however, is my biggest shock non-qualifier here. I expected him to do pretty well considering his sizable fan base, yet he was battling for Flower for last for the majority of the vote, and even at the end only just managed to even get close to 14th place. Back to non-qualifiers I expected. At the time the voting aired, Woody hadn't had a major on-screen appearance in over 4 years, so it's not really a shocker that he fell short here. Fun fact for Woody though, he was the only contestant to not receive all the votes from one of the voters. Unlike the other non-qualifiers, David was actually very close to making it, being only 7 votes off qualifying by the end. Earlier on he'd seemed like a sure qualifier as well, but as time went on his vote rate slowed to the point where he sadly gets eliminated. And those are the results. Semi-final 2 voting is still open and will be for another 4 days after the premiere of this video, so if you haven't voted on that, make sure you go and do so. I'll be signing off now, leaving you with a montage showing the contestants who have qualified for the final. I will see you next week for the results of this semi-finals voting. Thank you for watching and see you then.